Now, this week, the Hawks rescued a 13-year-old girl in Gauteng who was allegedly kidnapped and about to be sold to a human and sex trafficking syndicate. The girl's stepmother and stepfather have been arrested for the crime. Meanwhile, the Salvation Army has expressed its deep concern at an apparent spike in instances of human trafficking that has been brought to its attention over the past 3 months. For more, we are joined on the line by Captain Juanita Wright, the Salvation Army's Anti-Human Trafficking Coordinator. Juanita, good morning and welcome to the show firstly.
Good morning, Udo, to you and your listeners.
You know, the fact that the Salvation Army needs to have an anti-human trafficking coordinator suggests that you deal with this all the time. How often does the Salvation Army get called in to assist with cases of human trafficking?
Thank you for your question. Yes, you're right that as a anti-human trafficking department, we deal with this quite often through our national helpline. So as the Salvation Army, obviously we don't work in silos. We've got partners. So if and when a call comes through, depending on the situation or the case, we'd either deal with it as best we can, or we would refer it to one of our networking partners.
You said there's been a spike in activity if you look at the last 3 months. Any idea, Juanita, as to why?
I think more and more, and we've seen it in the media, cases coming to the fore with our national helpline, and even more so with regards to, I don't know if you know, or you obviously know about the recent movie, I'm All Girls. That in itself just brought about so much awareness. People calling to find out, does it happen? Where does it happen? What are the processes and procedures involved? Can I report something if I suspect something? Can I report it confidentially? So yes, there's a combination of factors that have attributed to the fact that people are wanting to know, wanting to inquire.
In the case of the 13-year-old from Gauteng, who was eventually rescued by the Hawks, do we know how she's doing and the step-parents, just what their status is right now?
Unfortunately, I'm able to comment on that at this time, Udo.
Sure. Okay, no, I fully understood. It is something which we need to take to the police in any case. But
Yes.
we've seen some reports of ridiculous sums of money that people are willing to pay, quite literally to buy another human being. It means that there will always be a massive incentive for these people who eventually convince themselves that they could do something like this.
Yes, that's right. And the illustration that we obviously at times use is the fact when you buy a jar of peanut butter, you buy it once and you finish it, and that's where it ends. But when you buy a person, I can use her and reuse her and reuse her and sell her and reuse her. So yes, it's ongoing, and of course it's big business, which attracts obviously the perpetrators because of the amount of cash that is involved.
Please help our parents out there right now. If they are worried that a child might be veering off in that direction, what should they be looking out for? What kind of conversation should they be having?
Kids that obviously online, the modus operandi of our traffickers changes all the time, and they're up to date, believe it or not. So the online, how much activity, how much time, online time is the child spending? Who is she talking to? Who are they friends with? Who are they associated with? And so also just teaching our kids to be observant of the environment, what's happening around them. And if they suspect anything, obviously draw attention to themselves. If they're in the shopping mall, run to the nearest security guard or even adult. But always they must be observant of the environment.
And finally, for everyone out there, that helpline, wrap it up for us with that number.
So we have a 08000 737 28, our national helpline, 24 hours, 08000 737 28 with the Salvation Army.
Simple as that. Juanita Wright, Salvation Army's Anti-Human Trafficking Coordinator. We thank you for your time on The Weekend View.